Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela. Listen, I'm having just some very slight technical difficulties going on over here. So my camera may not be on, but we are back for the Keffe D.
My understanding is we have one thing we need to address outside the presence before we bring the jury back in.
Yes, I guess two things, Your Honor. First is we'll be admitting some jail calls. We've edited those down to not include the lead-in and just the relevant
Hello,
portions,
hello.
as opposed to Mr. Sam, who are those with actions. The issue that Mr. Sam raised to me was regarding we're playing about, I think, less than 10 minutes of YouTube video, but Mr. Sam has an issue with
So the jail call issue is done.
the jail call issue is done.
You're just putting that on record that there's no objection to the foundation for that, and you're not doing it through the custodian of records.
Yes, we had agreed ahead of time.
Got it. So moving on to the issue with the YouTube videos.
Yes, Your Honor. My understanding is Mr. Samt has an objection as to the foundation for the YouTube videos.
That's correct, John. My understanding is they're going to produce an individual that works for the Clark County District Attorney's Office will come here and basically just say that he found the videos on YouTube. I don't think there's going to be, I don't think there's going to be foundation laid properly in terms of when the videos were taken, by who, along those lines. And so as a result, we would just do a preliminary objection to the foundation. Maybe the state will lay that foundation during the course of the trial.
And what's your proffer as to what you expect the foundation to be?
That our discovery technician went on YouTube and saw the defendant's face, and nothing is off camera. It's the defendant's face, and that he's talking in a very recognizable voice that we have all heard. And I think that's sufficient foundation for that. It speaks for itself, similar to the book situation.
And what's your objection that the video is not what it purports to be, as to foundation, essentially?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
So foundation, the essential question is that the item being proposed is what it purports to be. What's your objection on those grounds?
I don't think there's an objection that it is Mr. Davis that's on the video. It's more of when and where the videos were taken. So it's not the same group of characters that was from the testimony of Mr. Dorsey, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
It's other people doing those videotapes. So as a result, if there's foundation later on that I'm not, and I think that satisfies that.
I think it satisfies foundation that it is a video of Mr. Davis. It's what you're proposing it be.
Yes.
I think there's probably going to be questions and argument regarding when it was taken, who took it, for what purpose, etc. But as to foundation, I don't think that's lacking.
Okay. All right. That's I at least wanted to have that out before the jury came in instead of in the middle.
Okay, sounds good. So that's my preliminary ruling on that. We can raise it in the moment if there's anything more, if there's more doubts that come up, Mr. Samt. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else? Anything from your side?
No.
I do want to make a record that we replaced, and God, the numbers are escaping me, but I believe it's 121, and then the transcript that goes with the July 17th, 2017 with redacted audio and a redacted transcript.
Okay.
I also had marked, I think it's
Girl.
WW, which is the defense's 180-page return to the October 2nd, 1996.
The defense is asking the same
search warrant.
question
That I
because
also-
the information that they have,
Okay, sounds good.
they've had the same information
Let's bring in the jury.
Have the jury?
literally since 2008, 2009. They didn't move on it. Keffe D did documentaries and wrote a book. So I don't know what took so long, but it's here. We are here. Let me know if y'all can hear me.
Presence of the jury.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
You may be seated. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're still in the state's case in chief for now. State, who's your next witness?
State's witness is Adam Stair.
Just here for you.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may be seated. May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
My name is Adam Stair, ADAMSTOEHR.
All right, thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Stair, how are you employed?
I'm an electronic evidence specialist for the Clark County District Attorney's Office. Evidence specialist for the Clark County.
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I just got to
so
get
help
his
you God?
name. Got to spell his name.
May I please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
My name is Adam Stair, ADAMSTOEHR.
All right, thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready, Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Stair, how are you employed?
I'm an electronic evidence specialist for the Clark County District Attorney's Office.
And how long have you been an electronic discovery specialist with the District Attorney's Office?
About 3.5 years now.
Okay, and what are your job duties entail?
We collect evidence from various databases and we download it and upload it into our case file for the attorneys.
And do you also ensure that those pieces of evidence are distributed then to defense counsel?
Yes, we prepare them for discovery and we send them out.
I'm going to ask you particularly about things I asked you to do in this case. Did I ask you to obtain YouTube videos of the defendant, Mr. Davis?
You did?
And did you do that?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that there were a number of videos?
Yes, that is fair to say.
And then did I next ask you to reduce those videos to just a small number of brief clips for the purposes of the presentation today?
You did.
And Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Do you recognize what State's Proposed 165 is?
I do.
What is State's Proposed 165?
Is a CD of YouTube exhibits.
And does this CD contain the actual videos that you compilated and then clipped?
Yes, there should be 3 videos.
Your Honor, at this point, I'm going to move State's Exhibit 165 to evidence.
Any further objection, Mr. Stamps?
No, Your Honor.
All right, over objection, they will be admitted.
At this time, I'm going to publish State's Exhibit 165.
You may.
Before we get into this, again, these are very small snippets of much larger, longer videos.
Yes, very much longer interviews.
In order?
Let's do the book first.
You and Orlando and everyone else meets up.
That's a video that I saw.
But you guys don't have any guns.
Who said that?
Well, it was in the book. Until Von Zip came in the picture.
All right, let's. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay,
Let's get that one.
but it is in the book.
Okay, yeah. Let them read about it.
Okay, and I guess Foxy Brown was with Zip.
Let them read about it.
Okay. Well, according to the book, which there's going to be a link in the video that you could actually order from.
That's right. Matter of fact, let me see my book.
You want to go ahead and show the book?
Yeah, let's show the book. Yeah, this is my book here. I would like you guys to buy it and get the real truth instead of from a cop or some fucking industry people, some bullshit. You getting it from a real motherfucker. So go get the book, and you can get the real truth about this whole situation. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and read from the book passage.
Okay.
On getting a gun for the Tupac hit. While we were waiting for the valet to bring out our cars, Zip seized the opportunity and called me over to his Benz. Zip was a big-time New York player, pimp, and hustler who used to come out to California and handle his business and kick it with us sometimes. As I walked up to the driver's side, I noticed the rapper Foxy Brown was in the car with Zip. So he instructed her to step out of the car and motioned for me to jump in. Zip had a hidden compartment, and he opened up, reached in, and pulled back a 40 Glock.
Like I say,
He turned to me and said, "It's time to get the money."
like I say, get your $20 and read about that part.
I'm going to play the second file.
You had cancer at one point?
Yeah,
You beat it.
I beat it. Yeah,
Right? It was a colon cancer.
I told you I beat 3 of the baddest entities in the world: United States government, fucking cancer, and the streets.
And then one last time.
Okay, KVD. And you all know my stance on this. I just think he's a chatty patty.
Let me tell you something, my brother. Tupac never jumped on him. He was by himself. He didn't. My nephew never jumped on no fucking Tupac. Come on, man. Tupac was wrong with 2 left fucking shoes, nigga. I mean, don't you think he was wrong? Honestly.
I mean, yeah, I think he could have, reacted in a better way.
You listen, homie. You don't think that man is wrong?
He could have reacted in a better way, I guess. I mean,
I'm talking. Vlad is his fucking biggest fan. He admitted that man is wrong, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, he
Come
was
on,
wrong,
man.
man, but that was only done out of loyalty, man.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. He never jumped. My nephew didn't jump on him. He jumped on my nephew, a kid, man. My nephew was a fucking kid. Them was grown ass men, dude. You know what I'm saying? He was a fucking kid, dude. That's why he had on that jersey. He's a fucking kid, dude. You know what I'm saying? They was wrong. My nephew never jumped on him. They jumped on my nephew. My nephew didn't throw a punch, man. Shit was wrong, dude. Jumped on the fucking kid, dude.
And then, as part of your duties working for the Clark County District Attorney's Office, did you also receive video from the courtroom proceedings in this case?
I did.
And did you receive the one view from a television network and another view that you synced up?
Yes, I did.
And how do you do that?
I used Adobe Premiere Pro. I took both the videos, entered them into the same timeline, and then set them side by side and synced them up so that they played. It's the same video. It's the same video from different angles.
And I'm going to approach show you State's proposed Exhibit 166. Did you actually put that compilation on a video? And then, I'm sorry, did you put that video on a CD?
I did.
And is this the CD that you put it on?
Yes, it is.
All right. You're all right this time? State's going to move 166 as evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
So admitted.
This time State's going to publish 166.
I have everyone back here at 3:40. Please rise for the jury.
At that time when Reggie Wright Jr. is sitting in front of the witness stand, that Mr. Davis is mouthing words at Reggie Wright Jr.
Yes.
As part of your duties with the Clark County District Attorney's
Oh, I
Office,
missed that.
did you also have access to calls that Mr. Davis
Hold on,
made
y'all. I
since
missed that.
September of 2023?
I did.
At that time when Reggie Wright Jr. is sitting a video, and then, I'm sorry, did you put that video on a CD?
I missed that. I don't know what's
And
going
is
on.
this the CD that you put it on?
Yes, it is.
All right. You're all right this time? State's going to move 166 as evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
So admitted.
This time State's going to publish 166.
I have everyone back here at 3:40. Please rise for the jury.
At that time when Reggie Wright Jr. is sitting in front of the witness stand, that Mr. Davis is mouthing words at Reggie Wright Jr.
Yes.
As part of your duties with the Clark County District Attorney's Office, did you also have access to calls that Mr. Davis made since September of 2023?
I did. I did.
And did I ask you to review some of those calls?
You did.
And did I ask you to clip some portions of those calls for the purpose of a presentation here today?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's been previously marked as State's Exhibit 164. Is this CD the CD that you prepared containing those clips of calls?
Yes, it is.
All right, at this time, State's going to move 164 to evidence.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
So admitted.
This time, State's going to publish State's Exhibit 164. We'll go in chronological order. So can we play the 10, 12, 23?
Everything gonna play out for me. Everything gonna do. They just trying to use the words I said against me, but they can't do that shit. So.
Well, shit, they trying it.
Well. I didn't break the thing that fucking Greg hated. Shit.
I just wish you would have never did, dog. You know, just let that. You would probably would have been in jail. No, I forgot. I just wish you would have never talked to that man. You know.
Yeah, you're right. I know. I should have just went on and did that little.
Stop doing all them interviews and that. Just never did none of that shit. Just,
Exactly.
Whatever happened. You know.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody, that shit all over. All you see on Instagram is that all that shit. I'm like, damn, this shit is viral.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Stair, you've listened to this calls maybe one or two or more times. Is that fair?
That's fair.
In terms of editing it, is it fair to say that while some of the audio is a little bit garbled, upon hearing it a number of times, you're able to discern some of the words that are being stated?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that Mr. Davis says they're trying to use my words against me?
Yes.
And that he says, I didn't break the thing, Greg Kading broke the thing?
Yes.
Okay. Now can we play the next call at 10:21:23?
Yeah, they ain't got shit though. They trying to use my statements against me. You gonna lose, dude. I was paid to say that, stupid ass dude. Yeah.
Okay.
I was paid to say that, stupid motherfucker. You can't use my shit against me, you stupid.
And then what's this book they say you wrote?
Yeah, I did. After that dude did that, I didn't breach that contract. He did.
Okay.
Hey, money off carry top. You know
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Oh, bitch. He had my life fucked up. I clawed up under a rock for 6 years. And I just got tired of it. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Let them know the motherfucking truth. Bitch, you ain't just got me, motherfucker. You niggas around me got you for me. That dirt rock, all them son of a bitches. You know?
Wow.
Yeah. Even my boy Jerome down the street from you. Little Rizal, all them motherfuckers. Oh, like, damn. All that shit. You know?
And similarly, have you listened to this call more than one time?
I have.
And is it fair to say that Mr. Davis says they're trying to use my words against me?
Yes.
And in fairness to Mr. Davis, he does say, I was paid to say those words.
Yes.
And then he says, when he's asked about what's that book you wrote, he says, yeah, I wrote that book.
Yes.
And then later on he says, I'm going to quote, let the motherfuckers know the truth.
Yes.
Okay. And then he later on says, regarding Greg Kading, you didn't get me. And then says,
he is such a chatty patty. Anybody and everybody that he talks to. He has said the same thing over and over again to the police. He said it in social media interviews with Vlad and the Art of Dialogue. He has talked about this case so much. Now, mind you, he has said the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. So from the past probably 27 years, 28 years, he has said the same thing. He has said it to the Fed. Let me get you to see me because I'm talking with my hands now. He's done it with the feds. He's done it with the state twice. They even came to his jail when he was serving prison time for selling drugs. They wrote up a proffer agreement, and we'll go back over that. So he said this thing from so many times. He wrote his book in like 2018, 2019. He said the same thing. You have Robert Ladd, who wrote a book about gangs and Compton gang members. You have this Gaddy, whatever I think his name is, who wrote a book. You have a lady named whose last name is Katie. I think her name is first name or last name is Katie. She's written a book all about this stuff, right? But here we are in 2026. I guess better late than never. But what I never can understand is that there was a period of time when all this was going down, that all 4 people that were in the car were alive, but they never did prosecute this case. Even the people who they suspect were the pew-pewers were alive, and they did not prosecute this case. And so here we are now in 2026 prosecuting this case with this guy, Chatty Patty.
The people who actually did get him.
Yes.
Okay. Can we play the 11/9/23?
Deadline. So I'm gonna call Edie. I'm gonna call him today, and then when you call me later on tonight or tomorrow, I know. Okay. Sure. Okay. Love, my bro. All right, I'm looking out for you, dog. All right. Once I get home, man, we rich. Oh, of course. Of course. All right, I got to tell Keith, dude, you know what I'm saying? Don't throw that motherfucking shit up in your face. We be mad the motherfucking 10 years later. Next year, he's still going. You know what I'm saying?
He don't know how to hush.
Yeah. Make us want to, you know, I got to tell that
He
nigga,
loves to
I got
talk.
blood
He's
on
a
my
guy
money.
that loves to talk.
All right, what's up, bro? Okay. All right, big dog. All right. Talk to you later. Peace.
Similarly, had you listened to this call a number of times?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that Mr. Davis says, I have blood on my money?
Correct.
And then the last call from July 5th, 2024.
All day long. All day long.
I was going way before that dude. I was way out there before him, dude. I know Easy and Dr. Dre and put them on, motherfucker. Don't need this little faggot. You know what I'm saying? Pick up in fucking prison and get fucked in the ass. Fucking night time. Police and all that raping little girls, jumping on little kids in the fucking hallway of the fucking casino. And that dude's a piece of shit. You know?
Bro, they making this shit way with it, like, yeah.
Straight.
Talking about, yeah, all right, well,
So I want to be fair. So when we go back to that incident that happened on September 7th, 1996, the person that they jumped on, Suge Knight and his crew, was Keffe D's nephew. They caught him, as we say a long time ago, they caught him out slipping. He was by himself. He didn't have anybody around him. He didn't have his crew around him. So he got caught slipping and they beat him up. So it is fair to say that Keffe D was upset that his nephew was out there with no protection, and Suge and the guys who were in that entourage recognized him because they mob Pyru, and they recognized Orlando as a Southside Compton Crip. He was out there slipping, and so they beat him down. So it is fair for Keffe D to be upset that his nephew was beat down like that. Be upset.
None of my kids like that motherfucker faggot.
Okay, and similar to the previous 3 calls, have you listened to this call a number of times?
Yep.
And is it fair to say that well, he says a lot, but in particular, he says he's complaining about somebody jumping on little kid in the casino, in the hallway of the casino, that he's a piece of shit.
Yes.
Of course, indulgence. State will pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Stamp, cross-examination.
No cross-time.
Ladies and gentlemen, any of the jury, any questions for this witness?
I'm surprised they
Seeing none,
let
thank you, Mr.
him
Starr. You're free to
take
go.
these clips and admit them, the defense, because
who's
we
your
don't
next
have any
witness?
context.
Just reserving the right to confirm with the clerk that everything that we've offered has been admitted. At this point, the state arrest.
Do you want to come up and review it, or have you already done
I've
it?
checked, it's just the last 3 exhibits actually is the last one. We would have to confirm.
Okay.
Can we address 31?
Oh, yes, I forgot to address 31. So 31 was a duplicate.
Okay.
So we never offered 31. We just need to make a record that 31 was a duplicate.
So they're
of-
resting?
You know what exhibit it is? Of 30. Yeah, it's a duplicate of 30.
Okay.
So the clerk asked me to put that
So
on.
31 should just be blank. There should be no exhibit attached to that.
Well, it's marked as a proposed exhibit. It's just not admitted
Correct.
as a duplicate.
Okay, sounds good. Defense, we're moving into your case in chief.
Yeah, maybe a question.
You may.
Okay, so the prosecution rests. Let's talk about the prosecution's case real quick. Because the prosecution is saying that Keffe D was a shot caller and that he ordered the hit out on Tupac. And they have presented evidence upon evidence. They have presented 2 witnesses that were there, as I can see. Ingrid Johnson Stokes and Tupac's friend from yesterday, Malcolm Greenidge, that were following the cars. Subsequently, we had James McDonald, who was there. He was club security at Club 662. We had Reggie Wright Jr., who was head of security at Death Row. So these are the people who were, I'm told, that were physically there, right? They report, let me see, let me get this right. Ingrid Johnson Stokes reports that she was running behind Tupac's car. They pulled up on the side of Tupac's car because they're the girls that they were hollering at. They say Suge because the girl that was driving the car knew Suge Knight. So she was asking them where the party was, and the party was at Club 662. She reported that there was this white Cadillac trying to get in the middle of them between Suge's car and her car. She said that the driver at that time wasn't an aggressive driver. She was the aggressive driver. So they moved out from behind Tupac, and they were a little bit ahead of Tupac.
Okay.
And then that's when the shots ring.
Mr. Sam, anything you wanted to put on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. With regards to the defense's case in chief, we have witnesses lined up. We cannot make it here today. There'll be officers from the Metropolitan Police Department that will testify on behalf of the defense. Because of the fact that they're scheduling, we're unable to get it today. We would ask the court to allow us to start our case in chief tomorrow with a detective and 2 police officers tomorrow.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're way ahead of schedule ultimately. The defense at this point is moving into their case in chief, but doesn't have their witnesses available until tomorrow. So we are going to recess for today and have you guys back here at noon tomorrow. During this recess, you are admonished not to talk or converse amongst yourselves or with anyone else on any subject connected to the trial, or read, watch, or listen to any report of or commentary on the trial of any person connected to this case by any medium of information, including without limitation, newspaper, television, the internet, and radio, or form or express any opinion on any subject connected to the trial until the case is submitted to you. Sorry, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Please rise for the jury.
Honestly, the prosecution could have done this yesterday.
Judge, you said noon?
Noon tomorrow. Eat before you come, guys.
Oh, we've got a lot to talk about. Hey, that gives us a free, that this stream doesn't have to be that
After
long.
The jury has exited the room. Everyone can be seated. Mr. Davis remains standing. I have to admonish you on your right to testify at this time, just so you can make that decision overnight with your attorney, okay? Mr. Davis, under the Constitution of the United under the Constitution of the United States and under the Constitution of the State of Nevada, you cannot be forced to testify in this case. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You may, at your own request, give up this right and take the witness stand and testify. If you do, you will be subject to cross-examination by the Deputy District Attorney, and anything that you may say, be it on direct or cross-examination, will be the subject of fair comment when the Deputy District Attorney speaks to the jury in their final argument. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you choose not to testify, the court will not permit the Deputy District Attorneys to make any comments to the jury because you have not testified. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you choose not to testify, the court will instruct the jury, if your attorney wants me to, as follows. The law does not compel a defendant in a criminal case to take the stand and testify, and no presumption may be raised and no inference of any kind may be drawn from the failure of a defendant to testify. Do you have any questions? Do you understand that?
That's right.
Do you have any questions in general about these rights?
No, I'm good.
You understood? Okay. You're further advised that if you have a felony conviction and more than 10 years has not elapsed from the date you were convicted or discharged from prison, parole, or probation, whichever is later, and and you elect to take the stand and testify, the DA will be able to ask you in the presence of the jury the following. 1, have you been convicted of the felony? 2, what was the felony? And 3, when did it happen? But the DA cannot get into details about that. Do you understand that?
That's right.
Okay. I'll leave it to you and your attorney's consultations as to what your decision is, but I just wanted to give you those rights at this time.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for the record, because Mr. Stamp may not be aware of this, we checked the 2015 conviction. It ran on August 11th of 2026. So the only conviction that he would be facing cross-examination for is his conviction a couple of years ago for battery by a prisoner.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir.
Is that why they sent them to attack me?
I
Okay.
understand that's your position, that happened, but ultimately, I don't know anything about that case. I've never looked at it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, you guys can be seated. Anything else we need to address outside the presence?
No, Your Honor, in terms of scheduling, we anticipate, once we have our case in the sheet, and the state rebuttal, that we'll probably be closing on Monday.
Okay.
So we'll just need to go over jury instructions.
Yes. So I've been working on jury instructions. Ms. Panduct asked that we include a Carter instruction just in case.
A what
A
instruction?
Carter instruction.
Harder. Okay.
And then Ms. Panduct also asked about a voluntariness instruction. We have some thoughts on that. So
A voluntariness or a voluntary manslaughter?
the voluntariness of the statement.
I understood. Okay.
And so we have some thoughts on that. So we're preparing something that we think conforms to this court's ruling. And then we will probably have a corpus delicti instruction as well.
When did you want to settle?
I'll get this to Ms. I assume Ms. What you said, Ms. Panduct? Okay, I'll get it to Ms. Panduct this evening, and then I'll if we can probably do it Friday morning or Thursday, probably Friday morning probably best, or Friday sometime during the day. Settle those during that time, so Ms. Panduct has some time to review with Mr. Sanft what the instructions are.
Okay. All right. So we'll plan on settling those probably Friday morning sometime. Okay. Sounds good.
The only question I would have is the 2 rebuttal witnesses I have to, one, I know that they're calling. Should I have them here at 2 tomorrow? Because I don't imagine Mr. Stamp is going to be very long, or should I have them here at 9 o'clock on Friday?
No, don't do that. If we just have it here at 2 o'clock, that would be
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
I'm
good.
going to try
So
and get them here for 2.
have everybody here at 2. Maybe we may have the submission of the case at least wrapped up by the end of the day tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys. We'll be in recess.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. That was short and sweet. Honestly, I think that the prosecution could have wrapped this up yesterday. If that's all they had, they could have wrapped this up yesterday. We didn't have to come back today like this. But let's go over their case. Because let me all right. Let me get this a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna put it up here because I just wrote it up here. This is me using my free will in AI. All right. So when we look at the prosecution's case, they're saying that Davis planned the pew-pewing in retaliation for an earlier casino altercation at the MGM Grand where Shakur and his entourage beat up Davis's nephew, Orlando Anderson. Prosecution said that Davis didn't pull the trigger, but he provided the weapon and made sure that the shooters in the white Cadillac were armed and ready for retribution. They also said that they're using his own words against him. Now, I've told y'all several times that Keffe D is Chatty Patty. I don't care where it is. I don't care when it is. He is going to talk about this case. Right? So basically what they have put out here, and also what's important to know, is that Tupac Shakur on September 7th was pew-pewed. And it was and according to prosecution, it was in retaliation for Orlando getting beat up. Okay, we got that. They've interviewed several different people. Several different police departments have interviewed Keffe D. Whether you've had representatives, and those interviews, from what I can remember, started after the Notorious B.I.G. was killed the following March. So there was, because the interesting thing about that is that Keffe D was not only present at the Tupac pew-pewing, he was also present at the Notorious B.I.G. pew-pewing. Now, what's interesting about that is that the persons, or the person unknown that was supposed to have had pew-pewed the Notorious B.I.G., the sketch looks similar to Jeffrey Wright. And I don't have that. I was looking for it. And I'm not going to go back through here and look it up there. I'll just do something separate. But he was present there. Because he was present there, the police were talking to him. And when they started talking to him, Chatty Patty says, you know, I ain't got nothing to do with this thing happening in LA, but in Vegas, you know. And the police are like, what happened in Vegas? And then they realize, oh, Tupac Shakur was pew-pewed. What do you know about that? Who, you know, they start asking him the legitimate questions. What do you know about that? Chatty Patty gets to talking about what he knows. Now, he gets arrested some later on that year, 97 or 98-ish. I can't tell you when. Remember when? And he is arrested, and subsequently, I think he either pleads guilty or he was found guilty for the selling of the narcotics. He gets interviewed from selling of the narcotics, and then he enters into what is called a proffer agreement, which is a contract between the feds and that person under a criminal investigation. It lets them know that basically they won't use his words against him. And so if he knows anything about any crimes or anything like that, or something leading up to a crime or anything like that, he can talk about it. And they will be able to make a deal or do whatever with this. The only thing about this agreement is they can't use your words against you. But if they find out in some way that you're lying about something, then this proffer agreement is null and void. And personally, I think Keffe D thought that this proffer agreement was going to protect him forever. So he decides that he figures that he can keep saying whatever it is he wants to say when he wants to say it, and he's protected. Well, what Chatty Patty doesn't realize is that, and this is just my opinion, if you are an attorney out here, let me know. But I think what he didn't realize is the feds may not come after him, but that doesn't mean that the state won't come after him. And so check out my video about the proffer agreement. We went over the proffer agreement, but he continues to chat. So he goes off to jail, and so that was like in 97, 98. Then in 2008, Christopher Wallace's mama who Christopher Wallace is, aka the notorious B.I.G. or Biggie Smalls, however you call Biggie. Give me one more chance. His mother files a multi-million-dollar lawsuit in federal court against the Los Angeles Police Department. And she talks about corruption. Therefore, a task force was convened. And so in 2008, 2009, with this task force, they first start at the Tupac murder, and then they want to work their way back. Because the Los Angeles, the police department is saying, okay, if there's corruption, we need to know about it. And so we're going to have this task force with the feds and with us and with other law enforcement to see what's happening. Now, I'm of the opinion is if the corruption happened anywhere, it had to happen in the Compton Police Department, because it's mighty strange and suspicious that the Compton Police Department was disbanded at the beginning of 2000. So I believe she was on the right track. I just think she had the wrong police department. But anyway, we heard several tapes of him chit-chatting, and I'm just going to be honest, his conversations hadn't changed all too much. He tells us who's in the car. He tells us that he was in the seat, in the passenger seat, and he says that the shots came from the back seat. He doesn't say who it is. Me personally, I think it was Orlando, but I'm not sure because I wasn't there. And no one can seem to say who was the one that was doing the pew-pewing. We had a witness to say that he saw a guy with a white top on, but his back was to him. So he didn't describe it as a football jersey or anything like that. But I'm assuming that's what he saw. So the prosecution shows that Keffe D was in the car that the shots were fired from. They know that he didn't do it, but they're saying that Keffe D is the shot caller, that he was high up in the gang, the Southside Compton Crips, that if he said something, people were going to do it. Now, when we were talking about the different things, it gives me, he was in the gang, and he says he's an OG. Keffe D is probably what? Maybe he seems like he's like 5 years older than I am, 5 or 6 years older than I am. And this is my, like I said, when I say these things, I don't have right here, I don't have nothing based in facts. It just gives me opinion. He seems like the guy or the kid that has been around the gangs, in the gangs. Does he do any work? Yes. Can he sell the drugs? Can he make some deals to make sure the drugs are being sold and all that other stuff? Absolutely. Absolutely. He is OG because he was the longest running employee at the time. And I hope I'm saying this right. I am not trying to negate that what he said he did or he didn't. In my opinion, he don't act like an OG, because OGs don't talk. If you've ever been around people who are very well respected, and particularly if they're running certain things like this, they don't talk a lot. They're not out here on the phone talking to any and everybody that they see about what happened. They just don't do it. He gives me, like I said, I'm the oldest employee here, so I know everything. And if you want to know something, you need to get in contact with me. He seems like the guy that that the OGs would send to do the work. because they trust as an employee he gonna get it done. But to me, them calling him a shot caller, and what's so interesting to me is that you have people who are saying all this that were not in the gang, because they had gang members on here, and the gang members didn't say anything about Keffe D being a shot caller. You had Devontae Lee there. He said he was an OG. You had James McDonald and Reggie Wright Jr. They knew he was in the gang. They knew he put in work. Calling the shots, I don't know. Now, let me be very clear. The people that he had in the car, they respected him as an OG. But my question is, everyone in that car was capable of getting the gun and doing the gun and all this other stuff. Everybody was capable of doing that. They talked about that the Cadillac was a rental car, if my understanding. Was the driver the one who had the rental car? Don't know. I don't remember. I guess I need to go back and through the testimony. But I think they did a very good job as far as getting us the information as far as the video footage, and then aligning what Keffe D has said through that proffer agreement, and also what he said in those interviews. Because they presented an interview from 90, I think it's 98, 97, 98. They presented a verbal interview from 2008, and they also did one in 2009 that he keeps repeating. He was there. He was pissed off that his they beat down his nephew. And I would also venture to say the person who had the biggest motive in that car that night was the person that got beat up. Because he testified that there was no plan, I'm talking about Keffe D, to just go down and pew pew. They were going to go to Club 662, and if they saw them, they were going to beat them up real quick and then go on about their business. But they said that they didn't see them when they went there, and they felt like it was unsafe because this was Mob Piru territory. So they went on, they saw a lot of Mob Pirus. With them being Southside Compton Crips, they turned around and went on back to the casino. As they were going back to the casino, they see Tupac hanging out the car, talking and doing whatever. And they realize, oh, okay, this is the car. There's a car right there. And so I'm quite sure there was a split-second decision from the back seat for all of this to have gone down. So I think presenting Keffe D's words against him was the best thing. I don't know why they ended up recording him saying something to the guy Reggie Wright Jr. I don't know why they snuck that in, unless to say Keffe D was the same then, he's the same today. But Keffe D sounds like he's a guy that's gonna cuss you out. He's gonna cuss you clean smack out. But anyway, I think presenting those tapes, they did a good job of showing these are Keffe D words. These are the words that Keffe D has presented. They don't have the gun. There's talk of the gun, but they don't have the gun. They don't have him explicitly say that he ordered the hit on Tupac. They don't have him saying that. All right. That's what I see. The only thing that defense to me can come up with is, okay, These are supposed to be your gotcha moments. Why did it take so long for it to get here? Who was working on that case then? Why does it take so long when you've got the feds, you've got 2 states, you literally have 4 different police entities working on this case. You've had several people write books. You've had a documentary to be shown, and the same information goes to saying you still didn't have the gun. You still didn't have you may have had the ballistics of the gun, but you don't have the gun itself to match it with the ballistics that were there. You have all of these things. But back prior to 2008, I believe, because again, Tupac shooting happened in 96. Prior to 2008, there was a point in time because you still had the same information. And I do believe there was a couple of books that were written around that time. You had the same information. And you also had at that point 3 of the people that were in the car, they were still alive. Why wasn't this information used when you had knowledge and you knew all 4 individuals who were in the car? And at that point, before 2008, 3 of them were still alive. What kind of investigation was going on? Who was doing the investigation? All you have is tapes. You had a whole proffer agreement back. Everybody had the proffer agreement. Even when they went into the documentary that they have been discussing for a day or 2 days, even with the documentary, you had the proffer agreement. Why wasn't those people, when that proffer agreement was made, why wasn't those people brought to justice then? Huge questions. Why weren't they brought to justice then? So the other thing that was great about this case and the great about the prosecution's case is that the jury was able to ask questions. That the jurists were asking questions, and they were asking pivotal questions that's going to help them in their investigation. They asked some questions. They asked questions about the gun. They asked questions about, well, if y'all knew this information, who was responsible for doing something else? So I think I have confidence that the jury is going to make a very informed decision. It's not like other juries that, they have to sit through the evidence and they don't get to ask questions of the witnesses as they're sitting there. So these I wish all states did that. But these jurists, in my opinion, are going to be informed. So if they had any questions that they wanted to ask, they definitely had the ability to ask these questions. Let's see. So what's interesting to me about the defense, yeah, he was. But the other, at that time, by the time that he was talking about that, the other 3 were still here. So they had the opportunity, if they had the same information, because he did that proffer agreement in 98. Seemed like everybody had a copy of that proffer agreement that they claimed was confidential. They had that same information. So it's going to be interesting whether or not the defense is going to make that heavy. The defense also says that There was no physical evidence tying him to anything. There's no physical evidence tying Keffe D to anything. So, and he also talks that his client talks too much. He exaggerates too much. You know, he has lied. He's lied for profit. He has lied for all kinds of stuff. You can't take all the stuff that he says with a grain of salt. And plus, he's not been consistent with saying the stuff that he's been saying. Excuse me. All the time. But as if you all been following my stream, and I have been saying this over and over again, this man talked himself into this case. This is what he wanted. He talked himself into this case. So we will be back here tomorrow. I think she said that they're going to start noon their time. And so we're my time, I'm 2 hours ahead. So that means 2:00 for me. So we will definitely be back here at 2:00. I don't know if I'm gonna do another stream this evening. I want to, but I had so much stuff to do, child. I can't tell y'all. But that was the prosecution's case. It took them 8 days to get to this. They went through 25 witnesses. 25. Most of them being police officers. We had an author. We had people coming from the give me 1 second. I gotta find them. With Michael Dorsey, who was a film producer, and Mario Diaz, who was the showrunner for the documentary of Death Row Records. We spent a lot of time with them. So their cases is that they went back over the evidence. We heard from the medical examiner. We heard from the crime scene specialist that came in. We heard from the police officers that were there that night that Tupac was pew-pewed. We had a bicycle officer that stopped Suge Knight's car because he didn't have his tags on, which to me, they told a lie and said that they did that because they were doing a video shoot up and down the strip. But I don't believe that. I believe those plates had California plates, and they were making sure that they didn't stand out. So we talked to film producers, more crime scene analysis, and we talked with Robert Ladd, who wrote a book about the Compton gangs. Mind you, Robert Ladd was a police officer in the Compton Police Department before it was disbanded, and when it was disbanded, he went out and wrote a book about stuff. So we will see, child. So we'll be back here tomorrow for the defense's case. According to the defense attorney, he is going to start with police officers that he can't get here till tomorrow. And once he gets those police officers there tomorrow, we will definitely start back up this case. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye.